Hey, World Warriors, I'm Brian CrowMn for A CrowMn Review, and I'd like to take just a few seconds to talk about beat-em-ups. Streets of Rage, X-Men, Fighting Force, Final Fight, these were the games I largely had to play with friends as a kid. It was a mutually beneficial compromise. I got to play a pseudo-fighter, and they didn't have to get salty about me bodying them in straight rounds. Of course, that was the 90s, and yeah, sure, we had our fair share of retro tributes and HD remixes, but, you know, it'd be pretty awesome if maybe we got something kind of new and original. A beat-em-up game that this generation of gamers can flock to and be proud of. This is Anarchy Reigns.
Anarchy Reigns.
Anarchy Reigns is a beat-em-up by Platinum Games, released in January of 2013, and a sequel of the 2009 Wii exclusive Mad World. It's a futuristic post-apocalypse full of robots, mutants, giant chainsaws. All that good stuff. The story stars Jack Kamen, a wonderfully Ron Perlman-like badass with a friggin' giant chainsaw on his arm. Jack's a bounty hunter in a bit of a race with the Bureau's Strike One unit, as they're all chasing down the same target, the former leader of Strike One, Maximilian Caxton. The Bureau wants Max for treason, while Jack was employed by Max's own daughter to find him before Strike One does. You spend half the game playing as each side, Jack and his small band of misfits and cohorts, and the other half playing as Strike One's young upstart Leo and the rest of the team.
You're not going to believe this, but there's no sign of him anywhere.
I'm not gonna believe that.
You know what to do when we find him, Leo.
Anarchy Reigns pretty much plays, well, the way you'd expect a modern-day beat-em-up to play. You've got your buttons for weak attacks, strong attacks, grappling, jumping, blocking, targeting enemies, dodging, and you build meter to unleash extra powerful and supremely kick-ass looking attacks. If you've played any character action games of recent memory, like Bayonetta or Devil May Cry, the controls will feel very familiar to you. You can interact with your environment by picking up objects to hit or throw at enemies, but sometimes it can actually work against you too, like when there's randomly an air raid bombing, poison gas leak, or even a friggin' black hole. My favorite thing about the game, though, is how the actual campaign plays out. It basically dumps you into a small open-world setting, either a rubbled city, a harbor, mines, where you can just wander around and fight as many enemies as you want, or collect items like power-ups and unlockable concept art. Then when you've had your fill of all that, you can accept a variety of missions within that setting to push the story ahead. When you've finished with all the missions in that particular setting, you move on to the next and repeat. And thankfully it never gets old thanks to the variety of missions available to you. You'll come across just about everything from kill X number of bad guys within a certain time limit, escort missions, boss fights, races, even some turret shootings. And a lot of these missions actually give you the option of taking a break from Jack and Leo to play as some of the supporting cast, like the Baron and Sasha. If there's just one strike against this game, just one gripe that I have with it, there's no local multiplayer. And it's a shame, because if ever there was a game that I wanted to couch co-op with my friends, or face off in a little PvP, for fuck's sake, it's Anarchy Reigns. But there's no local. Still, online multiplayer is pretty friggin' kick-ass. There's plenty of different game types to choose from, like Team Deathmatch, Capture the Flag, Survival, Battle Royale, with support of up to 16 players. Roughly 20 characters to choose from, unlocked by either completing the campaign or upping your multiplayer rank. Hell, there's even DLC to play as Bayonetta. Understandably, though, yeah, it's probably not for everybody. The game does lend itself to quite a bit of chaos, and Anarchy Reigns online multiplayer, it can be pretty hard to follow unless you've really logged your hours in. But with all that said, final thoughts. Anarchy Reigns is admittedly a multiplayer game first, which makes its lack of local even more of a travesty. If anything, the single-player campaign serves as a fairly great introduction to gameplay and helps you climb the learning curve well enough to stand your ground in online. That, combined with practice modes, simulations, and tutorials, you've got a lot of resources at your disposal to really up your game. I think Anarchy Reigns is a severely underrated Platinum Games title that unfortunately suffered lackluster sales because of their publisher, Sega. From director Masaki Yamanaka, it's saddening to see what happened. As developers, we're not the ones who put the game on sale, but we feel like we held up our end of the bargain in terms of quality. We think we've made a really good game, and the reviews have largely reflected that. Producer Atsushi Inaba, where was the marketing support for this game? When people say that, we just have to apologize, and there's nothing we can do. Hell, I didn't even know this game existed until just before it was released in the US. A whole half year after it was already out in Japan. Thanks, Sega. It makes me want to cry big dumb-faced tears knowing that almost nobody knows about this game. Because it's so friggin' good! But seriously, I hope some of you World Warriors out there watching actually like what you've seen and are maybe willing to look this game up and give it a try. I think Anarchy Reigns is a great modern beat-em-up that fans of both recent character action games and old-school beat-em-ups can appreciate. I'm A CrowMn, and you know, how about throwing a little 4-hit combo my way? I can take it! Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time, right here, on A CrowMn Review.
Yo, here we go. Time for some action. Can't get no satisfaction until my steel toe crashes. Head on collision, what's happening? This swinging, face smashing, no need for the cashing. And you bet not interrupt when the titans are clashing. DJ, bring that beat so I can bust, slang through the street, bang with the heat, send me auto. Like to see you die, she's hollows. I throw too much beat to swallow. Can't keep up with me to follow. Sound check is over, show's just begun. Try to escape, make sure words don't run. Don't rush. Beats in the show, watch your tempo. Starting out of control, but there's nowhere to go. They're moving too slow, and it's about to explode. somewhere to run to. This ain't nothing like kung fu, more like watch what you gun do. Let the poppers pop shots and the breakers break jaws. They don't box, they raw, they don't make beats, they make war. Got kicks and stairs for ya, we take it there for ya. Heard what I said, snatch some dreads out your head, oh yeah. So you can dance around, you won't last around. I'm finna act the clown, you don't know, you better ask around. Beat to the show, watch you tell. No, it's got out of control, there is nowhere to go. You're moving too slow, and it's about to explode. So ready to roll, and baby, here we go. I got the mic in my hand, I'm ready to go.
We're done here, Baron.
Done? This motherfucker's not even medium rare.